Alright, so you may be wondering, what's up with this video? You haven't done an unboxing or anything recently of a new cube. Well, the thing is, I did do an unboxing, but the problem is I didn't like the footage and it was also all recorded sideways. Hooray! Alright, well, I should probably get into the actual cube now because that's what you're here for. So, gonna get into specs first. This cube is the ZhiSu. That's probably how it's pronounced. The ZhiSu 56mm mini 4x4 magnetic. Oh god, that was a long name. So, as you can see, this is a GAN 306 SM. It is 56mm. And they are the same exact size. So yeah, you may think this is a little bit too small for 4x4, considering the average for 4x4 is, from either 59 to 62mm. And I just find that too chunky for me. This is the Moyu Meilong 4x4. It is 59mm. As you can see, it's really not that much bigger. But this thing just feels bulky now. Like when I try to do this, I end up going too short, like this. Oh wait, that's not like this. Yeah, I don't do the full turn. Because I've been practicing with this a crap ton. I've actually gotten into 4x4. Watch this. Oh, little parody. Sweet, I'm so cool. I know parody. Alright, well, now I should probably get into the lockups. So, this is a very common thing. When you turn this layer, just this single layer, this internal piece should not move. But occasionally, when you try to corner cut, I'm gonna fix this real quick. Occasionally when you try to corner cut like this, it brings that with it and causes a lockup. And occasionally, if you try to push it too far, then this internal piece pops out, and it's quite a pain to get back in. And you have to like freaking remove pieces, shove it in there, hope nothing else gets in the way, try not to get as much lube on your hands. See, that was annoying, and now I gotta put these back in. Oh, God. And my point is, this cube locks up a lot. You're probably gonna say, like, we just shouldn't corner cut it with it. You're right. But I'm me, and I have unstable turning. Whenever I try to do algorithms, I tend to rely on corner cutting sometimes. And with the outer layers, I'm actually going to talk about this because this is really nice. With the outer layers, corner cutting is around 45 degrees, which is pretty insane. Like, that's like the high-end 4x4 kind of corner cutting. With the inner layers, it's less than impressive. Particularly this layer here, it doesn't really even go line to line. Then here it goes almost line to line. And we already talked about this kind of corner cutting. This kind of corner cutting is forbidden because of the lockups. That too. I should also talk about pops. This cube also pops a lot. Yeah, when you're just trying to turn a cube, sometimes you get a lockup like freaking this. And this top layer turns. Sometimes you get that kind of thing and an internal piece just pops out like this. Or maybe an external piece will pop out if you're just turning a cube and for no reason it just happens. Yeah, you might think this all leads to the cube being bad, but you're completely wrong. This cube's awesome, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, how good this cube is. There we go, that's back in, put these back in. Yeah, getting internal pieces back in is a bit of a pain. Luckily, these big internal pieces don't tend to pop out. So, I'm actually going to talk about how good this cube is now. So, the cube flows incredibly fast. It's got a very nice, mildly bumpy, but very subtle texture to it. It's not smooth, but I very much like the texture, because something like the Little Magic is it just glides along and doesn't really have much go into it. But this is There's a lot of texture in there, but I really like that because it gives you some tactical feedback. And the magnets, I don't have a magnet 4x4 yet because my previous best 4x4 was this, the Maylong. And this thing is $7. It's considered clear. It's considered like the best budget 4x4. It is $7, and I'll give it that. That's really cheap. But it has no magnets, and I just don't like it. It's not as good as people say. I don't know why. I just don't really like it. But this is perfect for me because I have teeny tiny hands, and this thing is teeny tiny, so it's perfect. And the magnets, I'm going to touch on the inner layer magnets real quick because that's kind of interesting. So the outer layer magnet strength is like pretty subtle, but the inner layers are strong. And the reason for that is because the inner layers act as a 2x2. And 2x2s need 2 magnets in each corner for the magnets to be able to work. The reason for that is on something like a 3x3, the corners and the edge magnets are always going to be touching. So you just have the edge magnets a certain polarity and the corners a different one. But with these, if I just had one magnet here, and this was north and south, this would also be north. And if I put it over here, then they would repel instead of attracting. So you gotta have 2 with opposite polarities. But that means once it goes right here, this magnet is repelling this magnet. And so it doesn't want to go here, but then it attracts to those and snaps in. But then, when you do this magnet is repelling this magnet, and it wants to make it turn. So thus, while the inner layers are strong because there's so many magnets, it lets you continue really easily because once you get out of this turn and do that, it wants to go. So the inner magnets are rather interesting, and I just wanted to touch on that. So, also, by the way, you may think because this is a 4x4, it just, like, you don't have to worry about corner twists. On a 3x3, it happens all over the place. Yeah, you would think that you wouldn't need to worry about corner twists, like, yeah. But this thing corner twists surprisingly easily. Like, that's shocking how easily you can just corner twist this thing. It doesn't happen during solos, typically. I think I've had that happen, like, once, but it's rather weird that a 4x4 can just corner twist. And, on the Maylong, the corners are just squares with stalks on them, but on this, it's got a more modern caved-in internals and then squared out externals. But that doesn't help with the corner twists. It certainly does not. Alright, this review is getting kind of long, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase and kind of finish up. So, this cube, $12. Should you buy it? Yes. Despite all the problems I mentioned, it's completely made up by the absolute ease of turning and how fast and controllable it is. I could practice on this for hours and not get tired. In fact, I have done that and not get tired. That's just how that's how well it just flows and goes along. It's very controllable, and you can just move. It moves however you please. I could probably freaking use this as my 2x2 main or my 3x3 main. Alright, that's a lie. Jushin Little Magic is just too good. But this thing is seriously good, and if you're getting into 4x4 and you don't know what cube to get, screw this. For $5 more, you can get a way better value, and it's just such a premium cube, and look at this. The shades are awesome, it's got a glossy finish, it's got better grip. I love it. Thank you, YJ, for making such a great cube. That's about it. Bye.